Shelby Baja Raptor, and it is an amazing upgrade to the original Ford Raptor. Now this one uses, of course, the 2017-2018 body style, and it makes an amazing sound. If you thought the 3.5 liter V6 that Ford put in this sounded good before, well, it sounds amazing now. And unlike the Super Snake I reviewed, I can actually get the paddles to work on this one. Starting with that 3.5 liter V6, that is one of Ford's twin turbo Ecoboost engines, and it had a power bump from, I believe, 450 horsepower on the original Raptor to 525, and the torque went from 550 to 610. That's not a major power bump, but still, getting that much horsepower, more horsepower out of this engine is amazing. It's like there's nothing this motor can't do. These paddles are connected to the, again, 10-speed select shift transmission that Ford makes and puts in a lot of their vehicles. I mean, that dual clutch transmission, depending on how it's tuned, it is a simply amazing transmission. And if you're driving in comfort mode or normal mode or eco mode, the top 3 gears in that will definitely help you save gas. I don't think I've hit the 9th or 8th gear in this unless I was just in comfort mode, but I've been in sport the entire time. I want to talk about the modes on this. So you can change actually 2 things about this car from the steering wheel alone. You can change the steering feel and you can change the drive mode. Some cars have those put into one option, so if you change it to sport mode, the steering actually goes into sport along with everything else in the car. This one actually you can put into sport mode and you can leave it in comfort, and the reason is that, let's say you're doing off-roading, you may not want to have the steering in sport, but you'll definitely want to have the drive mode into off-roading or sport or all-terrain or any of the numerous drive modes on this truck. And I do say truck, that this truck makes a lot of noise and it goes fast. I mean, for a truck, that's pretty incredible. Not only is it more off-road capable, but you can feel the increased amounts of power, and it's fun. You don't feel like you're driving a huge truck. I really don't. I had that problem with the F-250 Black Widow, where that truck was too big to drive. This, I mean, it feels solid around bends and corners. It has amazing passing power. If you can hear that sound, it's incredible. If you put this into sport, it automatically will shove it into 4A. You can change it to 2-wheel high, which is what I have it in now. I mean, it throws you back a little more into your seat. And the way this thing puts down power is crazy. The fact that this thing will spin out and lose traction when you have your foot 25% on the throttle just shows the amount of power this engine is capable of. Again, it feels super solid around corners and passing. It's just like you're not scared. This thing inspires confidence. It has that twin turbo. Now, what Shelby has done is they've added a dual ram air hood to this that is functional for those, and they've also added a completely new cold air intake system, which helps increase the power, and it makes a really nice induction noise. That has been a major reason why this truck makes a lot more power than the other one. Now, for off-roading purposes, Shelby has added different Fox struts to this. Now, the Raptor already has struts and springs and shocks from Fox, but now the Baja Raptor has a 3-inch lift on it, which makes it taller, and 3 inch doesn't sound a lot, but this thing has a lot more road presence than a normal Raptor. Not to say a normal Raptor isn't awesome, because they are, and Ford just came out with a new one for the 2021 model year, but this thing is just insane. The torque, it's almost instant. I mean, this thing builds boost fast. It's super, super fast. Unlike any other truck, and unlike any other EcoBoost I've seen, this one builds boost fast, which helps build large amounts of torque that just rocks you back into your seat. It's honestly amazing. You are super high up and commanding in this truck. The F-250, I mean, you were eye level with the semi truck, but there just becomes a point where a truck is too tall, and I think that point is at about at a 6-inch lift, because that thing was almost 10 feet tall. I was literally matching eye level with semi trucks. This doesn't feel like that. Honestly, it feels a lot lower to the ground than it actually is. That is due to the amazing suspension work Shelby has done to this thing. Allows it to hold in the corners a little better. It has to do with the steering being a lot tighter. It has a lot to do with all of that. And we can go pop it back into drive, and we will turn the steering, we'll turn it back to normal. And then we'll put the steering back into, we'll put the steering into normal, and then we'll go into comfort. Normal steering, it becomes a little lighter, and you have a bit of, I don't want to say wiggle room, but you have a little bit of deadness in the middle when you go to normal mode. And that's expected. Most cars are like that, where now this isn't moving the truck versus before it would be. So they just lighten up the steering and everything like that. Again, a lot lighter. It starts to become more like a truck. You start getting that feeling. The engine is now a lot less responsive. The gearbox likes to upshift and keep you out of the high rev range, which is nice if you're just going on a cruise, but it is a lot more comfortable to drive now. Now, if you switch it over into comfort mode for the steering, now it becomes a lot lighter, a lot more floaty. It floats through the corners now. I mean, it takes a little more input to get it around a corner. You know, if you're just going on a long drive, this truck is comfortable. You do get heated and ventilated seats up front, heated seats in the back. You get 360-degree cameras. You get backup cameras, front-facing cameras, and you get all the creature comforts of driving a truck. This thing can tow, I believe, 17,000 pounds is what it was, depending on the rear axle ratio. I believe it's a 3.55, and if so, it can tow 17,100 pounds. And that was before Shelby put their hands on it. That's just the normal Raptor of this era. Shelby's added a cool little things. All the seats are now embroidered with the Shelby Baja Raptor logo and the name in it. The gauges, the two gauges, the speedometer and tachometer. The tach has Carroll Shelby signature in it, and the speedometer says Shelby Baja Raptor in it. That's all custom. The outside, you get bigger fender flares, different tires, different rims. This has BF Goodrich tires, and you get 6 of those. In the back, and the reason I say 6, this is a 4x4, it's not a 6x6, but they give you 2 spare tires, and that not only do those tires increase the look of the off-roading look of this vehicle, but it definitely helps if you're going off-roading, having 2 spare tires back there. Oh yeah. Gas mileage is what it's expected to be out of an Ecoboost. It's not as bad as the 5-liter V8 that you can still buy in an F-150, but it's not amazing. I mean, the 3.5-liter V6 eats gas, and most of the Ecoboosts do. Those turbos aren't there on those performance cars to save you gas. They are there to increase performance. And they are in this truck to increase performance, so they've been tuned not to save you gas. The tank's pretty huge on this thing. I think 36 gallons, which is saying something. I'm at 3/4 of a tank right now and have 399 miles of range left, so this thing can definitely go long distances. The paddle shifters have a nice feel. They're just aluminum, and they're large. They move with the steering wheel. Personally, I keep my hands at 9 and 3, so having them mounted to the steering wheel is better for me. I know some people like them mounted to the steering column, but I'm not a personal fan. All in all, this vehicle is just, I mean, when you're in sport mode and have the steering wheel in sport, it feels less like a truck and more just, it feels like a truck. It's always going to feel like a truck, but it becomes incredibly sporty, incredibly fun to drive. And when you're in comfort mode, this truck that's what it is. It's just a really comfortable big truck. And that 3-inch lift, I know, will scare some people due to the driving position being changed, but you shouldn't be scared. That 3-inch lift means nothing on this thing. This thing is still easy to drive. It doesn't have too much body swing in the corners. So thanks guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and comment. And then if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in the next review.